Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we were done with this station. Now, it seems, we are not, because we need to expand this station. Specifically, we need to have 8,419 units of ore in this station. We can only currently have 3,900, so we definitely need to expand this with another pop prod module, and we need to get some additional ore. So let me check to see. This is not currently filled. Okay, I want to use this particular mint getter, and I want to just make sure that we have these fuel tanks full, of course. We don't want to send this down without full fuel tanks. That would be very problematic. So we will just transfer this fuel over for now. This is a slightly slow process. It's definitely a bit on the slow side. And then we're going to need to send both of these down to gather some ore. We're going to need to send up another pop prod module. And I'm just checking here. There's a cupola and a hitchhiker storage module there. Okay. We need to still be sending this out. There we go. We have plenty of space for liquid fuel in this right now, but we definitely need, I'm thinking, 2 more mint getters and a module here. Let's see, we currently have a facility supporting 20 Kerbals. The hitchhiker storage can hold 4. And the cupola can hold, I believe, 1. So that's interesting. We have access for 2 here, plus another 4, so that's 6, 7. And then this is 11, 12. That is not 20. Where do we have our 20 Kerbals at? I don't know. That's certainly interesting that we apparently have that much. So we would need to send up a module that can support at least 10 more Kerbals, right? It wouldn't necessarily have to be a module with production capacity, but we definitely need to undock right here. Now let's switch on over to this guy, and we will close this airlock. Excellent. And our fuel tanks are, of course, good to go. We are full on fuel. So that's fine. Let's just get ourselves a little bit of distance from the station, like so. And away we go. Okay, where are we currently? We are currently here. Do we want to basically descend where we are? I mean, we certainly could. I'm not going to utilize RCS right now. Yeah, we could descend right here, in theory. And I just want to make sure that we're not going to collide there. There we go. And off we go. It feels like we're accelerating away from the station, and we kind of are in that frame of reference, but we're actually burning retrograde. Okay, and we're just going to jump down to the surface here. We'll just slowly burn off this remaining speed. Okay, I do want this to still be at retrograde if we can. We can't currently. We'll just have to do something kind of like this. I've overshot slightly. We'll bring this right on down. And do something kind of like that. And now we'll just sit surface retrograde for now, while we advance downward a little bit. Uh-huh. You know what? We still need to do some orbital retrograde burn, looks like. Okay. I'm okay with this. Okay, that should work fine. And then we can just warp forward a little bit. We don't appear to be able to select the orbit here, which I'm slightly disturbed by because that means that I can make warping mistakes, which I'm not a big fan of. Okay. I have a weird thought. How much thrust to weight does this have? Technically, this. No, hang on. What am I doing? Technically, this. Wow. Okay. We could actually decelerate this with RCS. We're not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quick save here in case I make a warping error, which I will feel free to reload. And we're going to warp towards the surface just a little bit. It's currently 10x. This is now 50x. This is now 100x. Okay, I'm going to take it down to 50x. Now down to 10x. Okay, so far so good. Let's check our terrain altitude. Okay. We need to... hang on. We need to be burning. There we go. Okay. So here we are. We're coming close to Valentina's ice cream stash here, but that's fine. I do want to make sure that our landing legs are deployed. We're still moving reasonably quickly, although I'm going to cut the throttle now. But I wonder how steep this will actually be here. We'll have to see. Okay, we're going to continue falling until we are at 4 kilometers right now. So I'm actually going to warp that a little bit. Okay. We're now going to slow this down a little bit further. Down to around 30 meters per second is our current goal. There we go. And we'll descend down to about 1 kilometer above the surface. Okay, we can no longer warp. That's fine. Gonna turn this RCS off. And we're gonna look to kill this horizontal speed here. Okay. That'll do for now. I'm wondering why I don't currently have any SAS control. What did I do here? It's set to normal. But we don't seem to be able to do roll, pitch, and yaw now. Did I toggle something that I shouldn't have? I may have. Yeah, I have no control currently over any sort of our heading. Okay, we'll just have to land with SAS. It's fine. Oh, it's because we have no probe control. Or limited probe control, rather. That's fine. Okay, we're going to continue to descend a little bit here. I do want this to be on surface retrograde for right now. Currently 500 meters up. Let's begin this burn. Okay, we're moving at about 10 meters per second, which is fine. This is going to be kind of dicey because I can only max and min the engine because of the limited probe control. Okay, we'll do something like this. Gonna have to kind of feather this. Well, I've seen better. But that'll do. We can turn that SAS off at this point. Get our radiators out. There we go. And let's just get our drills going. Fantastic. And hopefully we'll get probe control back at some point. I mean, we can do this as is for now. Once we get high enough up, we should have satellite connections. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our ice cream maker now. We'll switch to that. Okay, now the next thing that we want to do is we want to detach this one, this mint getter. The question is, do we want to wait in orbit? And I kind of feel like maybe we do. I do want to toggle this overlay here. Actually, this is a really rich area. Okay. Let's get out of here. We'll just pull away a little bit. Close that airlock. And we'll go to orbital retrograde. Need to get a little bit of distance here as we get turned around. Yes, this fuel tank is indeed full. That's good. So this is the direction that we're going to be going in orbital retrograde. So we're certainly going to have to make sure that we clear this over here. It looks like we are good, or about good. I'm a little concerned about this solar right now, so we're just going to wait till we drift a little further apart. I think we're good now. Goodbye, station. Okay, where's Minmus? There's Minmus. Fantastic. Okay. I'm just checking our current trajectory. We definitely want to bring this down a bit. And we want our trajectory to be right about there. Should be good. I'm just hoping that we'll actually have power there. That would be awkward if we did not. Okay, so at this point, I would hope that we can warp here. And indeed we can. We'll just warp ahead 15 minutes. Excellent. What's our current radar altitude? 73 kilometers. Okay. We can warp ahead a little further. We'll warp ahead another 6 minutes. Okay. Now we definitely want to orient surface, retrograde. We'll physics warp as we turn towards that. There we go. And we will begin our deceleration burn, I think, once we get to about 15 kilometers, perhaps? course, we are going to want to make sure that our landing struts are deployed. 17, 16, coming out of the physics warp. And 15. Let the deceleration commence. Okay, we're decelerating plenty quickly. I'm going to cut the throttle now until we are a little lower, about 8 kilometers. This is not the most efficient way to land, but it is a safe way. So we'll fall for another about 3 kilometers in freefall. We are going to want to make sure that we kill this horizontal speed, though. So I'm going to start working on that a little bit. Something kind of like this. Okay. That's close. That's probably close enough. Let's get to surface retrograde for now, and we're actually going at a decent speed right now for 8 kilometers. So we will let it fall down to 5 kilometers. Going to physics warp us a little bit as we let it fall. Okay, at 5 kilometers, we will begin this burn. There we go. And we are aiming for probably... I mean, this burn needs to continue for now. Okay, now we're good. 30 kilometers above 3 kilometers. I usually like to be moving about 10 meters per second for every kilometer I am above the surface. That's what I'm targeting here. So our next one should be somewhere around 2 kilometers. I'll go ahead and physics warp, or rather regular warp, down a little bit. Okay. And we'll begin this burn. We're now 2 kilometers above the surface. And moving at 20 meters per second. We'll bring it down to 10. Close enough. We'll physics warp down a little bit until we are about 1 kilometer above the surface. There we go. Just looking for the shadow. There it is. Okay. Fantastic. Let's bring this down to 10 meters per second. And then we will do our final burn at right around 200 meters. Looks like we're going to be landing between these two rocks, which is fine. Feels like we should be burning right now, but I'm holding. Okay. We're doing fine. Switching to stability assist. Beautiful. Okay. So there we go. We don't need the SAS on anymore. We can get our radiators extended. And let's get our mining equipment working. Fantastic. So we will just get these drills started right on up. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be bringing, what, 3,600 units of ore back? Now, one thing we may want to do, instead of sending another mint getter, we may want to send an ore storage module, or an orage module, if you will. It's a terrible, terrible joke. That's an option. What do we have for ore storage in terms of, like, large-scale ore storage? All we have is the small and radial holding tanks. Is there another type of holding tank that we don't yet have access to because of science? Let's see here. Or is there really only small holding tanks? Wouldn't be in aerodynamics. Or in motors, probably. Large holding tank. Okay. So that's 1,000 science. That's a lot of science, to be sure. I mean, we could get that. We could definitely get it. But we're definitely going to need to send up something that can get us up to 10 more Kerbals, right? So let's open the Pop Prod module, which is, I think I passed it, or did I not save it? Oh, here it is. It's called the Ice Cream Maker Pop Prod module. Okay, so this has access to how many crew? It's got a cupola module, which has a crew capacity of 1. It's got a hitchhiker storage container, which I believe has crew capacity of 4. So this has crew capacity of 5. We would need to send at least this much up there to make this actually function. Now, I think this would be fine. This is half right now. There's no exploration stage. Let's check thrust to weight. Okay, I think this would be okay. Is this the old variant? Yeah, this is with the Pollux. I'm actually going to take this off. And we will save this. Yes. And we're going to bring in the SLS. Merged in like this. Now this is still the Pollux. But this has the exploration upper stage. So we're definitely going to have to swap this here for the bigger RC, or rather the bigger solid rocket motors. So instead of the Pollux, we would be utilizing the Clydesdales. These ridiculous ones. Oh, that is insane. So something like this, and then we would need to move these downward a little bit, kind of like that. We would need large nose cones for it, which I believe we don't have the correct size of nose cone for them. These are not correct. That'll do. That'll definitely do. Okay, so we've got this. Do we want to send this uncrewed? I feel like we do. So we would then have attached here, we would put in a command and control module, or rather a pod module, and this would be, get rid of that, this would be the remote guidance unit. We'd have this be uncrewed, like so, and then this would dock up, and in theory wouldn't have too many issues. Of course, we're going to need some struts on this. So we would strut this together like so, and like so, and we would definitely need to have a few more of these guys on here. And I'm thinking we would probably do something kind of like this. Let's check our aerodynamics. Yes. We would certainly need something like this. This is very Kerbal. Something kind of like this. Because our center of mass is definitely kind of wonky. Like that. I mean, that would work, in theory. I would want to move these guys up a little bit, probably. Kind of like that. These guys would come up ever so slightly. Like that. These would then be actually probably about here. Bring that down slightly. And these would be something like here. I mean, this is a terrible, terrible way to do it, but it would work. In theory. So this would get us what we needed in terms of population. This does not get us what we need in terms of ore storage. Don't get me wrong on that. So we would definitely need to send up either 2 mint getters or 1 ore storage module. But I will overwrite that for now. And I do want to make absolutely sure. What are these 4 engines? Oh, that's these 4 engines. Okay, so these would get merged together like so, and then these would detach separately. The exploration upper stage is a mess right now, so this would detach here. That would detach at the same time as would that. And then this is currently a double decoupler here, which is not strictly speaking necessary. Get rid of that. Put that on. There we go. Okay, let's double check this again. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. So we're pretty much ready to send this thing up. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to get this station almost completed. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.